Okay, so we're going to do this challenge, which is for a car rental system. So we need a 1D array, which is going to have car type. And we have in it economy, standard, luxury. Okay, car price, which is going to be another 1D array. 50, 100, 200. So we get 50s for economy, 100 for standard, 200 luxury. We need a 2D array for, I'm just going to delete the bits which we've done now. We're going to have a 2D array called car reservation. I don't know why my hand's hurting when I'm typing at the moment. Okay. And it's going to be for each car type for 7 days. So let's do economy. Economy for Monday 0, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That is not 7. That's Sunday. Great. And what I'm going to do is just copy and paste this. And let's do it for standard. So we sold 0. So for each car, we sold 0 so far. We're going to let the user enter the number of cars they want to reserve for each car category for each day. Okay. So we're going to have to do this for each day. So for I in range 7, because we're looping for 7 days. And the first thing we want to do is ask the user how many economy, how many standard, and how many luxury they want to reserve. So let's do economy equals int input how many economy cars do you want to reserve on this day. Now, we can't have more than 3, and we can't have less than 0. So while economy is either less than 0 or economy is more than 3. We need to get them to do this again, because we cannot allow a value which is outside of that range. So this is a range check. It's going to keep looping until they get it right. Once we've done it for economy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the amount of cars they've entered for day 1, because that's what we'll be on. So economy is this row. Day 1 will actually be 0, because it starts on 0. And what I want to do is change that to whatever number they've just typed in. So once we've typed it in, I'm going to do car reservations row 0 for economy, and the current day is I. That is the current day we are on. I starts on 0, so it'll be on a Monday. This will be the first row because it's economy. So that will equal what we just typed in for economy. I'm then going to do the following. Do the same for standard, because this question says they get to choose how many they want for each car category for each day. So it's basically saying for each day, so this is all for day 1 to start off with, it's going to ask them how many economy, how many standard, how many luxury. So it could be they get 2 economy, 1 standard, and 0 luxury. So we want to update the information here, here, and here for Monday. So standard, and I'm just going to copy and paste this bit. How many standard cars? I'm going to do my range check. While standard is less than 0 or standard is greater than 3, do it again. You've got it wrong, and it's going to keep repeating if they type in an out of range number. When it's good, it breaks the loop. It breaks the loop. Remember that term, it breaks the loop. So it's still in this loop, which is going through each day. I'm still on day 1. but we're still typing in our information here. Now, we're going to now this time change car reservations, but it's for standard. This whole row is for economy. 0 and row 0. Row 1, row 1. But the day is going to change each time it loops. So it's going to be I equals standard. And finally, we're going to do the same for luxury. So I'm going to do a copy of this and change it to luxury. So how many luxury cars would you like? While luxury is less than 0, or the luxury is greater than 3. So we typed in too many cars or too little cars. Let's do it again. Once the loop breaks. Remember, this loop may not even run because it's a preconditioned loop. If they type in 2 cars, that is correct. So this loop won't even bother doing its job. It doesn't need to. So this time, though, we're going to update car reservations row 2, because row 2 is luxury. Day I, which is to start off with 0, i.e. Monday. I'm going to put in the number, whatever they typed in, for luxury. So, the first time this loops, it's going to start in this column. So if I zoom in, it's going to start on this column. We type in economy and we update row 0, which is this one, column 0. So we do it for economy, we do it for standard, and then we do it for luxury. So it could look like this. We've had 1 economy, 2 standard, and 1 luxury. That would be the end of this for loop. The first time around, I will then go to 1, because it would have started on 0, but now it will be 1. So it will be on to the next day, which is Tuesday, where it goes through the same pattern again. So I would be 1. So we type in economy, it'll go to 0 for that row, which is economy, but this time it'll go to 1. And it'll say how many cars. We say 2. And it updates that. It then does standard, row 1, column I, which will be there, and we say 0. We then do luxury. So it'll be on this row, this column, and we type in what we need, whatever value that's going to be, and it keeps going until we get to the end. So this is slightly different to what we've done in the past. All this is doing is simply going through here and letting us change each one of these to a number, but we're not going across, we're going down first. We're doing that one for economy, that one for standard, that one for luxury. That's the end of day 1. It then does this one, this one, this one, and it keeps going down. That is what this is doing here. This while loops are there simply to make sure we enter in a correct number between 0 and 3. Anything which is less than 0 or anything which is more than 3, it will keep repeating, forcing us to get it right. Notice with car reservations, we can simply put in the row we want to update because we know it. We know that economy is 0, so I just put a 0 here. I will be the day. So we have done allow users to enter the number of cars they want to reserve for each category for each day and perform validation. We've done that with our range check. The next thing we want to do is calculate the total revenue, how much it makes for the week. And I'm going to do that as a separate entity. And there are different ways we can do that. So let's do it using a for loop. This for loop is responsible for us entering the data to book car reservations. I'm going to do another for loop, which is going to be responsible for counting how many cars we've made for I in terms of sales in range. We're going to loop 7 times. I'm going to make some variables. I'm going to call one total economy, total standard, and total luxury. And what we're going to do is, first of all, count the economy. How many cars have we actually sold? So it's like this. It'll loop through and it'll count and it'll say we sold 3 cars. So I'm going to do it based on the following. We're going to do a total. This is going to be different to, so I'm going to do total equals 0. I'm then going to, so I'm going to call it total economy, not total 0, my fault. So I'm going to call it total economy, which you've already got, equals total economy, add, and it's going to be car reservations, row 0, I. So what that's going to do, it's going to start on here and add it to our total economy total, which will make it 1. It then goes to the next one. You'll make it 1 add 0 is 0. Add 0, add 0, add 2, which will be 3. Add 0, add 0. So total economy, once it's done 7 times, would be the total of 3. I then do the same for total standard, because this needs to also do it 7 times. It shouldn't be 0, it should be 1, sorry, because adding up all of these. And finally, total luxury equals total luxury plus car reservations to I. So right now, it's done, it's counted how many cars we reserved for each car type. Economy, standard, and luxury. But we now need to, with our totals, after the loop, calculate how much money we've made. Revenue means money. So that is very easy. We're going to take our total economy and make it equal to whatever we've made, our total economy, multiplied by car price, position 0. We could have just done this, multiplied by 50. But they gave us an array to use, so we need to use it. Otherwise it's going to be lonely. So if you want to work out the total car price, 1. So you notice, every time we talk about 0, it's always economy. So economy, 50, and that's 0 as well for economy. Standard, position 1, position 1, position 1, so it all correlates. So obviously, total luxury happy days. We've done the revenue. All we need to do now is work out which car type has made the most amount of money. And there are different ways we can do this. I'm going to do it as a simple if statement. So if total economy is greater than total standard, so we're saying that the economy is made more than the standard, and total economy has made more than total luxury, print the car type which made the most money was economy. Now I'm going to do a different if, not an elif, because we're checking now for a different condition completely. So if total standard is greater than total economy and total standard is greater than total luxury. Print the car type which made the most money was standard. And finally, if total luxury is made more money than total economy, and total luxury made more money than total standard, print the car type, and I made the same mistake, which made the most money is luxury, but change that to an N. Don't want a syntax error. And finally, we want to save to the text file, the car category, that has rented out the most cars. Ooh, so this is working out who's made the most money. But we also need to save to a text file the one which has sold the most cars, because we could have a situation where this has sold more cars, but because this is costing more, this would have made the most money, but economy has sold more cars. So these are two different things. This is looking at revenue, how much money we made when we did all of this, but now we want to see who's sold the most amount of cars, but we've done that already just before we do these calculations here. This actually shows us who sold the most amount of cars. That's what it's being stored at the moment. Remember, it goes and counts. So this will be 10, this will be 0, this will be 6. That's what will be done here. The moment we then start multiplying it by car price, we then work out the money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go above where we did the car price. I'm going to do some more if statements. If total economy, so in fact we can just do this again. Because it's the same variables, but this time it's looking at how many we sold, not money. I'll say again, when we get to here, it starts turning it into money because we multiply it by the price. So I can just steal this code that we did a second ago. In the exam, you can't copy and paste, unless you had a really cool fancy pen or pencil, which allows you to do that. If you do have that, I'll be very impressed and I'd like to know more. Okay. So if total economy sold more cars than that and more cars than that, we're going to save it to a text file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the text file before we do these if statements. F equals open. I'm going to make a text file called total sold.txt. I'm going to write. And what I'm going to do is just to show you total sold. I'm then going to, if this is true, so if this runs, we f.write, and we're going to write into it economy, because it's economy which is sold more. This will only happen if economy beats that and economy beats that. f.write standard. And finally, f.write luxury. So these will only happen, these will only save it to a text file if that if statement is true. Finally, we need to f.close to close the text file. We're not using it anymore. So we open it. So it's like opening up a book. So picture yourself opening up a book. This is us writing in the book, but we're only going to write in the book based upon the if statement. And then once we're done, we close the book. And folks, that is the end of this challenge. I'm trying to get a file code. There you go.